Hi. So I want to talk a little bit about, we've been talking about, showing up and reinventing yourself as the woman of your dreams. So I want to talk a little bit about what curating a morning routine looks like while you are doing this reinvention and while you're doing this transformation. I feel like this is going to vary person to person, but here are just some ideas and some inspiration from what I've been doing, and I've been finding success with it. So I know everybody talks about being a 5 a.m. girly, but you don't necessarily have to be a 5 a.m. girly. Just with my schedule, with me, my work day starting around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, it works for me to have a little bit of time to pour into myself before I start jumping in, getting the kids ready, all that stuff. So yes, my day starts, my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. And what that looks like for me is I'm waking up. It's a slow wake up. It's not like I'm waking up and I'm jumping to my feet. I wake up and then I kind of just assess how I feel, breathe a couple times. And then I will either look on YouTube or find a podcast. Really, that's pretty much all I'm going to do is look on YouTube or for a podcast or something like that. Or a sermon to get my day started. And it doesn't always have to be spiritual. Sometimes I've been listening to Emma Grede a lot. I really, really enjoy her perspective and just her stories. So what is the most important thing about having a curated morning is setting that baseline of peace. So when I set my baseline of peace early in the morning, and the first thing I'm not hearing is some rap song, or I'm not looking on Instagram and seeing a gossip blog or something like that, it's really easy for me to identify and resist chaos later on in the day. So when I wake up, sometimes I really don't listen to music first thing in the morning. I like the first thing for my brain to receive to be some type of encouragement or positivity. Not saying that I can't get that from gospel music, but I don't know, my brain is kind of wired for, I don't want to say lecture, but just some type of information. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to, you know what? And I said that I'm listening to podcasts or sermons, but some mornings I do read. I've been reading a book by Jerry Flowers that I've been enjoying. But either way, just priming my brain for information and peaceful information. So I spend the first maybe 45 minutes doing that. And then I'll spend some time. I do have a few journals, I'll be honest with you. And one of my journals is my Good Morning God journal. And what that looks like for me is this is my journal where I'm casting my cares and pretty much just pouring my heart out. And it's Good Morning God. This is how I'm feeling. These are a few of the things that I'm concerned about. I need your help here. Just really documenting, getting it out. I don't want to hold on to that feeling. So it's just really important for me to get it out of, my mind and on the paper so I can just cast my cares to God. Once I do my Good Morning God journal, I kind of take a second and just read over what I wrote and breathe, a little meditation. And I don't really know how God speaks to y'all, but God speaks to me through the Bible. So if I have a question or there's something that I'm just kind of, looking for a little guidance on, and I don't always get an immediate response, but if he is going to speak, it's going to be through the Bible. So I know I got to read. So I will read the Bible a little bit, maybe 30, 45 minutes, reading that. Where am I? That's 45 minutes. So after I do all of that, it's somewhere around 6:30 in the morning. So again, God speaks to me through the Bible, and around this time, it's about 6:30 in the morning. So it's time for me to go ahead and make breakfast. So the woman that I'm becoming, you know what? I forgot. I need to go back a little bit to talk about setting my intentions. So setting my intention is a little bit different from a to-do list for me. Setting my intention is pretty much deciding how I'm going to show up for today. What is going to be my mood today? What is going to be my temperament today? Okay, Khaleesi, you're going to be focused today. You have meetings. I need you to, make sure that you're making eye contact. I know this is virtual, but just really curating how I'm going, what my spirit is going to feel like that day. And I just kind of imagine what I'm going to look like that day, like what type of energy I'm going to show up with. Sometimes it's like boss energy. Sometimes it's like, just having a good time energy. But whatever it is, I kind of just try to go ahead and get my mind in that space. And that also is in my Good Morning God journal. A lot goes on in that journal. So as I'm curating that experience, that's kind of when I'm like, okay, I'm pumped up. I'm feeling like I'm going to feel that day. So around 6:30, whatever's going on at 6:30, I stop and I go ahead and make breakfast for my kids. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I feel as though the woman that I want to be, the woman I'm showing up as, she makes fruit, bacon, and toast for her kids every morning. I have not always done this. Actually, I've been mostly a cereal mom. For years, I've been a cereal mom. And I have, just recently, the past couple of weeks, been making sure that my kids have the bacon, fruit, and toast. It's been working out. They love it. Kelly loves strawberries. So, it's great. So I make that for my kids, and then I go wake them up. So by 6:45, that's when I start waking them up. I pick Kelly up, bring her downstairs, sit her down at the table, and then I go, yes, my son is 7, but I still pick him up. I have decided that as long as I can pick them up, I'm going to pick them up and get them ready for bed. That you'll just have to beat me up about it. But I just enjoy picking my kids up, laying their head on my chest, and then just walking them down to breakfast. Sorry, it's a thing. So I take both of the kids. They're down there eating breakfast. I'm, talking about school or whatever, just kind of setting the stage for the day. And then I'll leave them down there because I need to go ahead and get their clothes laid out. So I'll go ahead and get Randall's clothes laid out as he's eating. It doesn't take them more than like 10 minutes to eat. So that's not a huge deal. But when Randall's done eating, then we go upstairs and we brush our teeth. We brush our teeth together. I brush my teeth with him because I personally don't I'm just now noticing over like the past year that he takes shortcuts when he brushes his teeth, and I'm just not too fond of it. So I make him stand there with me and brush his teeth with me. Works, and it's easy for me to set a standard of how I want the teeth to look. So, and he does like water on his face for washing his face. I have a skincare routine, but after he finished washing his face, then he will go and put his clothes on. I'm still doing my skincare. If I do any makeup, it's just going to be concealer and a little blush, mascara, and that's going to be it for the day. But either way, I'm getting myself ready. And as I'm doing that, I'm doing a little bit of I'm talking to myself in the mirror. And I find this incredibly helpful, y'all. Just to tell yourself who you are every morning. Look at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself who you are. Remind you who you are. Because people are going to say a lot. People will look at you and call you all types of stuff. But before anybody has the opportunity to do anything like that for me, I'm going to tell myself who I am. And that is huge for me. So while I'm doing my makeup or my skincare, whatever I'm going to do for the day, I'm talking to myself. I'm reminding myself, girl, you are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are well-spoken. You are focused. You are deserving. I'm saying all of this to myself. Okay, so we're still in the bathroom. So it's about 7 o'clock at this point, about 7 o'clock 17. Around this point, Randall should be dressed and he should be getting his hair. He's getting his hair tended to because his dad takes him to school. My husband takes the kids to school and daycare, which is super helpful. So because he don't do that, he just roll over. He might brush his teeth, wash his face, but it's not as much as it's not a routine or as many steps as it is for me. Okay, so now I want to get into me presenting myself because the woman that I'm becoming, y'all, this is a little crazy and you can kind of take it for what you want to, but she does not have a huge wardrobe. My dream is not to have a huge closet. My dream is to have a stylist that will come, bring me the clothes I need to wear for an event, take them clothes back with them. If I want to, I can keep it. If I want to purchase the accessories or the bag or something like that, I have the option to purchase. But no, I don't want no huge closet. I like to shop in sets. I like to shop in outfits. So I already know. I kind of have a ready-made outfit, like a decision. I don't like a bunch of decisions first thing in the morning. So like this morning, I showed up like this. This is a pink set. I'm about to get on the plane. I'm headed to the airport. I'm headed to Birmingham to the airport. So I got this pink set. I really like it. This is from MAC Collection, I believe that's the name of this thing. Yeah. So just an outfit that's easy to pull together, not a whole bunch of moving parts. Yeah, I don't feel like picking up a shirt and trying to find hands to magic. No, I want full outfits. Everything is full outfit. That's just my go-to. So yes, I'm putting my clothes on. So this should be around 8 o'clock at this point. I'm dressed and I sit down and I look. Oh, guys, the brick. So I brick my phone the night before. My phone is bricked at like 9 o'clock at night. I don't have access to any applications, no text messages, no social media or anything until I unbrick my phone. And I typically do not unbrick my phone until I set my to-do list. And yeah, I set my to-do list and I know what I need to do that day. So yeah, I haven't looked at any emails. My emails are bricked. So by the time I get to my computer and I kind of look at what my day is going to look like, I go ahead and chunk out, like, whether that be 15-minute blocks, 30-minute blocks. I kind of estimate based on the task. I go ahead and chunk out on my calendar, because if it's not in my calendar, it's not going to happen. I go ahead and chunk out what my day needs to look like, which is kind of my to-do list. So sometimes I write it down, but sometimes I just put it in my calendar. That's pretty much what it is. So at 8:30, that's when I'm sitting down. If I'm going to have a call, it's not going to be until like 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So by that time, I know what my day is going to look like. I'm showing up as her. I look good. I feel good. And I think those are how, like, curating your morning is like the surest way to show up as your future self. I hope this helps. I'm not saying you have to copy what I'm doing step by step, but I am saying that I have found success in it. I feel amazing in the mornings. I feel confident. I feel sure of myself. There's a knowing. My foundation feels solid. Like, I just feel good. And I think that is kind of the mood and the environment that we need to be setting for ourselves as we step into this new chapter. So I hope y'all like this. Let me know in the comments. Until next week in the next video. Ciao.